Bryant, Arkansas has grown by almost 11% since the last census, and it's not slowing down. If you're thinking about moving here, you've probably already found 10 different websites telling you 10 different things about schools, safety, traffic, and home prices. And half of it is just outdated or wrong. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the real current breakdown of what's actually going on and what it's like to live in Bryant. Commute times, home prices, schools, safety, and what there is to do and who this city is and isn't a good fit for. No fluff, just what you need to know to make the right call. Before I get into it, I talk to people all the time who are in the exact spot you're in right now. Some are relocating for a job, some are retiring, some just want more house for their money without leaving Central Arkansas. If you're seriously considering buying, selling, or moving to this area, I'd love to help you figure out if it makes sense. I'm Aisha. I'm a local realtor here in Central Arkansas. You don't need to have it all figured out at first. Reach out through my link in the description to book a call with me. Tell me what we're working with and what you want to know about the area, and I'll give you a straight answer, even if it's not the right time for you to move. So let's get into it. Where is Bryant actually located? Bryant sits in Saline County, just southwest of Little Rock, and it's built almost entirely around Interstate 30. That fact alone explains most of why people move here. You get a straight shot into downtown Little Rock without living in the middle of the big city. Well, big for Arkansas. Depending on where you land in Bryant and where you're headed, you're typically looking at a 15 to 25-minute commute, depending on the time into Little Rock. That said, I-30 does get congested during rush hour. So if you're coming from Little Rock and going home to Bryant in the evening, or vice versa in the morning. If your job is downtown and you're working a strict 9 to 5, you're going to need to budget for extra time in the mornings to get there. If you have any flexibility in your schedule, Bryant becomes a lot more attractive because you can dodge the worst of it. Cost of living and home prices. Here's the number people really want to know. The median home value in Bryant is right around $237,000. The median household income is around $83,000 a year. Overall cost of living here runs slightly below the national average, and that gap is almost entirely driven by housing. Groceries, gas, and everyday expenses, they're pretty close to what you would pay anywhere else in the region. Compared to Little Rock, you're generally getting more square footage and newer construction for the same money in Bryant. That's the trade-off in a nutshell. You give up a few minutes of commute time in exchange for bigger, newer, or less expensive homes. If your budget is tight and square footage matters more than the proximity, this math tends to be mathin'. The schools. Bryant is served by Bryant School District and is one of the biggest draws for families moving to the area. This district includes Bryant High School, middle school, and several elementary schools, all within city limit, which matters if you're trying to avoid a long bus ride or school zone surprises after closing on a house. If you have kids, don't just take my word on the schools or anyone else's. School zones inside Bryant can vary by block, and which elementary or middle school your future address feeds into can affect both your day-to-day and your resale value. This is exactly the kind of details I help people confirm before we write an offer, not after. Growth and new development. Bryant isn't a sleepy small town anymore. The population has grown by more than 10% just since 2020. The retail and restaurant scene has grown right along with it. You got Target, Lowe's, Kohl's, and a growing list of restaurants that didn't exist here a decade ago. New neighborhoods are going up all the time, which means more inventory, but it also means more construction traffic, and more competition if you're trying to buy in a popular pocket of town. The upside of that growth is pretty simple: more amenities close to home, more resale demand down the line, and a local economy that isn't standing still. The downside is that new and established neighborhoods can look very different once you're actually living there. Some newer developments are still filling in sidewalks, landscaping, amenities, so it's worth knowing exactly what stage the neighborhood's in before you commit. Safety. Bryant generally reads as safe, family oriented, and most people who move here from bigger metro areas notice the difference immediately. Like any growing city, crime isn't zero, and it's worth looking at the actual numbers for the specific neighborhood you're considering rather than going off general reputation. You can call local law enforcement. They have actually also grown alongside with the population, and the overall feel of most residential areas is quiet and low key. If safety is your top priority, I would encourage you to look block by block rather than citywide. Bryant is large and varied enough now that Bryant isn't really one single answer to that question anymore. Weather and lifestyle. Central Arkansas gives you 4 seasons without the brutal winters, but you will get 1 week of winter every year, just one, and you will be stuck at home. You get consistent rainfall throughout the year. If you're coming from somewhere with harsh winters, this is usually a welcome change. If you're coming from somewhere warmer year round, expect a real, if mild, winter. As far as things to do in Bryant, benefits from being close enough to Little Rock that you get big city options for entertainment, dining, and events without living in the middle of it. Locally, you've got parks, family entertainment spots, and easy access to Saline County's outdoor areas and Little Rock's larger attractions. Riverfront and dining scene, they're all just a short drive away. Who Bryant is and isn't right for. Bryant tends to be a strong fit if you want more home for your money, you're commuting into Little Rock but don't want to live downtown, you have kids and want them in one consistent school district, or you're looking for a quieter, family oriented pace without giving up access to the bigger city. Is also a common landing spot for people relocating for jobs at facilities around Little Rock and Saline County who want new construction and predictable neighborhood. Bryant is probably not the right fit if you want to walk to restaurants and you want nightlife like right from your front door. If you need a short, traffic free commute, regardless of time of day, or you're looking for a more established, tree lined, older neighborhood feel, for that, you'd likely be happier looking closer to Little Rock or in some of the older parts of Saline County. If you're weighing Bryant against other options in Central Arkansas, the next video you should watch is my breakdown comparing the suburbs of Little Rock. I walk through how they stack up side by side, commute, price, schools, things like that. You can find the link in the description. My contact info will be in the description. It's also linked in my bio if you want to book a call with me.